And we're back. Every week we've been doing these closet episodes. We've been calling you, our dear listeners, to learn how you're coping, doping, and hoping. Joining us for this week's call-in segment, she's the host of The Circus on Showtime and a Love It or Leave It returning champion, Alex Wagner. Welcome.
Oh, it's so, this is the only bright spot in a dark, dark, dark month, and it's only April 2nd. Thank you for having me.
This week you launched a new Crooked podcast called 6 Feet Apart. We're so excited that you came to us to do this with us. We're obviously such huge fans of yours, but we really love the idea. Can you just tell people listening what the idea of the podcast is?
So I was, it was Monday night, literally last week, and I had this sort of like waking fever dream. And I thought, why isn't anybody talking to the postal workers or the baseball players or the grocery clerks or the Uber drivers or the babysitters or the prostitutes or the masseuses or the hair and makeup people? There's so many stories out there. And some of them are really heartbreaking and some of them are really funny and some of them are stories of resilience and innovation. And that's what this podcast is.
So in the spirit of reaching out and hearing from people, we want to do that today. This week, we want to call Love It or Leave It audience members and ask an equally important question to the ones you're diving into, which is, what are some of the strangest new self-care practices you've been implementing? Alex, are you ready to make some calls?
I'm so ready to make some calls.
All right, let's go to the phone lines, as they say. Hi, Jeremy. You're on mute. You got to hold the space bar to talk.
I'm back. Okay, what's up?
What is the strangest new form of self-care you've taken on in this stay-at-home moment?
I have started to learn the languages of the people that I work with. And so right now that's about 8 languages.
Wow. Jeremy, we've only been under lockdown for a couple weeks and you're already learning 8 to 10 languages?
Yeah, it's kind of been a pet project that I wanted to start when I started getting into social work. But now that I've got all this free time and I've watched all of Netflix, I got time.
Wait, you've watched all of Netflix?
He finished Netflix.
Like, I've finished it. If there's something on Netflix, I've watched it. We're done.
What are some of these languages?
So right now, I've got Burmese down, so that's good.
Well, I'm sorry. Stop.
Whoa, okay, wait.
Stop. That's a cocky sentence. I've got Burmese down. First of all, we can't prove you wrong, I guess.
Well, actually, we can, John, because guess whose mother is from Burma? Alex Wagner's.
Yes!
Mingalaba, baby.
Mingalaba, Danona Jeremy.
Oh my God, Jesu Timbare.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what that means? I don't know. Do you have it down? What's booty jaw?
Booty jaw? What?
Booty jaw. Bazunjao? Lepet? Oh, bro. I don't think you've gotten it down.
Okay.
I don't think you've gotten Burmese down if you don't know what Lepet is.
I don't know the entire language, dude.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to learn.
Brother.
I'm trying to learn, like, hello,
wow,
goodbye,
what are the chances?
How are you? My name is.
What are the chances you'd call into the podcast and America's foremost Burmese journalist, which is to say America's maybe only Burmese journalist, would be on the other end of the line?
I legit need to follow you on, like, Twitter, Facebook, and your world. What's up? For real. That's awesome. I got to tell my kids this.
You legit need to brush up on your Burmese, my friend. But I respect the fact that you're trying.
It has been 2 weeks.
Jeremy, I want to tell you something. I feel as though something so unfair and unlucky happened to you, which is you said, I've got Burmese down. Now, the odds that there would have been someone on a Zoom at the very moment you say that
in a pandemic
could prove that you are a serial exaggerator.
I will confess, I exaggerated. I have about 8 to 10 phrases of Burmese down. I very much exaggerated. But I'm only trying to learn 8 to 10 phrases of these languages.
So Jeremy, you said you do social work. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, so I work, I'm a social worker. I've been spending about 6 years working with the community from Burma, primarily in Southeast Asia. So right now we're working our best to provide support for the elders in the community. So my job is Elder Wellness Program Coordinator. So I've been worried about Corona since January, and it's really bad out there. So we're delivering food, supplies, getting Medicaid and Medicare set up for them. It's pretty rough here in Aurora and Denver, but the navigators that we work with, so those who like speak the language but also understand like English and kind of the cultural brokers, they're just crushing it. They're doing great.
Yeah.
So I just kind of help them facilitate those conversations.
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy, thank you for the work that you do. I guess to take us out, would Alex and Jeremy, would you mind having just a kind of a cordial goodbye in Burmese, and we'll leave it there?
No, I just want to say, I know I'm giving you a hard time about the language, Jeremy. I myself do not speak it even, conversationally. It is so righteous and awesome that you are helping elder Burmese people in this time of crisis. So I say on behalf of the Burmese diaspora, Jesu Timbade, thank you so much for your work. Keep on fighting the good fight, brother.
Thank you. You guys too. I really appreciate it.
Hi, is this Chrissy?
I'm Chrissy, and this is Greg.
Good evening.
Hi, Chrissy and Greg. You're on with Jon. I can't get it out just straight. What is the strangest new self-care act, behavior you've implemented during this lockdown?
So we kind of mooched off of our friend Erin, but she started this new trend on Instagram called the #quarantine beer of the day. So we've been drinking every single night a special snooty craft beer that we stocked up on before all this shit went down in preparation for Doomsday. So, I think tonight we're prepping to drink a lovely gingerbread saison.
When I order a beer at a bar, I say, give me the thing you have that's closest to Miller Lite.
Of course,
One of those. Yeah.
What do you mean, of
Which
course? That's like
Listen,
saying, can I have
know
water?
How much Lovett cares about, his health.
Don't,
Noom.
Zoom. Noom?
No,
this is a
your
Zoom.
Noom app,
It is Noom. I know, yes, you're right. Noom. There's a Zoom
I
now.
don't
It's a
judge
Zoom
you
about
for eating
Noom.
all of those Hershey nuggets, though. I would have
Thank you
done
for
the same
not judging
thing.
me.
I would have done the same exact thing.
Are you working from home, or what's happening with your what's your day like?
So I am working from home. It's busy as hell. I work for a TV channel. I work for Viacom.
Seems like you made it up. Seems like that's a lie that you just made up.
No, so we're
convincing.
really busy.
I was just gonna say, I too actually work for CBS Viacom, and the news never stops. So my question to you guys is, at what point does the beer start?
And usually like after dinner. We've been pretty responsible about it. It's usually like after dinner, like about an episode or two of Schitt's Creek into things. We'll decide.
We're responsible about it. We're not going ham, because also you have to reserve your stash. So we don't know how long this thing's gonna last.
How big is the stash?
We've got maybe 13, but we stock
Different
up.
things, yeah.
We got a new delivery, and a lot of the breweries around the area are doing local deliveries. So taking advantage of that, trying to support local business and also our alcoholic habits.
I do like the idea that you're getting drunk every night to support local commerce through this crisis. Greg, Chrissy, thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you. Hang in there. It's now, I guess it's 7:30 Eastern, so it stays on o'clock.
It's on o'clock, exactly.
Stays on 31. Yeah.
Great job, Greg.
Thank you. You set the bar so high before.
Bye, Alex. I love it.
Bye, guys.
Hi, Morgan.
Hi.
You're on with Jon, as we say. We are calling to find out what strange new self-care you have employed to get you through this pandemic.
So we are a family of 4. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and my husband's here. So we've all kind of found our own genre of self-care, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
My personal one is Hallmark movies. I don't like conflict of any kind, and there's a lot of it right now. So after the kids go to bed, I turn on my Hallmark movies, and it's so predictable that I can easily lull into peacefulness before I go to sleep. And my son is 5, and he is now taken to daily bubble baths. In my room, he locks the door and goes in and practices swimming and
That's
makes
cool.
beards. Makes beards with his bubbles, and that's his way to get away from his sister. So he begs to do those all the time. So we were lucky, quote unquote, that my daughter watched Frozen for the first time 2 weeks before we were shelter in place. And she's 3, and she really likes to sing. So we literally act out every scene from Frozen all day long.
Morgan, I have a 3-year-old, an almost 3-year-old, and an 11-month-old. And we've been trying to limit screen time. And of course, all of that flew out the window as soon as lockdown began. And my afternoons are filled with trying to hook my child on Disney Pixar movies. And none of them have taken. I mean, Toy Story 1, 2, WALL-E, Finding Nemo, Finding Dory. Do you have any advice for parents who are trying to get their children addicted to a movie?
Because I'd like to do that.
So my advice is actually not a movie. My kids love the PBS Kids app because they can control the side. So it's almost like their own YouTube, but it's PBS Kids, so you know what they're watching is going to be pure for the most part. But anyway, they love that they can scroll on the sides, they can switch the episodes. It's really intuitive for a 3-year-old. So that's my suggestion is a PBS Kids app. You can get it
that
for
is
your
a
phone or tablet.
fantastic suggestion, and I may survive another 2 weeks because of it.
One final question for you, Morgan. Don't you think the message of Little Mermaid is so bad that we probably should not let any person, maybe under 25, ever see it ever again?
It's pretty bad, but the music is wonderful.
I know.
Under
I do
the
love
sea,
the
Lovett?
songs.
Under
I
the
love-
sea?
But it's the story of a girl who
That
falls
anyway.
in love with
I
someone
listened
she
to that
hasn't
anyway.
met. She hasn't met him really, and her goal is to change herself and not have a voice so that he'll kiss her.
Well, when you put it that way.
And all because
Speaks for all of us.
All because of an evil drag queen. I mean, it's a strange little tale. Morgan, thank you for joining us. Hang
Thank
in
you.
there.
Stay strong,
thank you for-
sister.
Yes, you too. And thank you for being a bright spot in my day whenever I exercise and I get to listen to Crooked Media Podcast. And Alex, I can't wait to hear your new podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Morgan.
Bye guys.